No, no,
So
no.
are
Congress
all of these
spokesperson is
vindictive
on the
politics?
panel. He will speak for himself. Yes, Reena,
Sure,
please respond.
you can ask him.
You
You
did
can ask.
suggest earlier that if there is a problem with this policy, it happened because of the former lieutenant governor. So the two you can't have your cake and eat it too, where you allege there's no problem, but then you also say if there is a problem, it's on somebody else's head. Ultimately, these decisions were taken by the government. The government has to be held responsible.
So Shivani, let me explain. These are all very technical issues and I can explain each one of them. So first of all, Shivani, the Chief Secretary of Delhi is appointed in Delhi by the Ministry of Home Affairs, Mr. Amit Shah. The Chief Secretary of Delhi and the LG of Delhi both report to Mr. Amit Shah. Every decision that the Delhi government took was signed on by the LG. Secondly, what the LG did was, just before the policy was approved, he changed certain conditions in the policy, and that is the reason we raised this issue, that why did the LG add additional conditions just 48 hours before the policy was issued.
Okay.
Now let me come to the airport issue. It's again a technical issue. Shivani, let me explain. So when the licenses for airport were being given out, the Airport Authority of India said that whoever is the highest bidder will need to get an additional clearance from the Airport Authority of India. This was an additional condition only for the shops on the airport. The highest bidder did not manage to get the clearance from Airport Authority. The second highest bidder managed to get the clearance, so he had to match the fee of the highest bidder. This is a very normal practice wherever you need additional clearances, that the second highest bidder needs to match the highest bidder. So where is the revenue loss? The second highest bidder who managed to get the clearance from the Airport Authority, because it's a security issue, he matched the
Okay.
bid.
Reena, can I come in here? Can I come in here? I have a question.
Let me complete.
No, one second. No, we don't have time. You made a point. I have a question here. One second, please, Reena. I have a question particularly with regards to the LG's role. Now, the logical question is that if you feel the LG made some last-minute changes, why did it take you so long after the alleged scam and the lid of it was blown to come to the realization that the former LG was responsible? Why did you not raise an alarm all this while? In fact, why did you roll out the policy at all?
So Shivani, we did write to the LG. There was continuous correspondence with the LG. We did write to the LG saying that under the new policy, if you add this additional condition, what will happen is that there will be areas where there will be very little shops and there will be areas which will be devoid of shops. As a result of that, some people might benefit more. So please do not put this additional condition, because this is how the government works, that you put forth your argument and you hope that the other person is also intelligent and responsible enough and will do the due diligence.
But in all of this period, you did not raise an alarm over this scheme or
Shivani,
over this policy.
You don't go out and raise alarm on issues. This is normal correspondence.
That's how, that's not how the Aam Aadmi Party functions. You go out and raise an alarm on a lot of things.
We raise an alarm when we realize that the other person is not listening, Shivani, and that's what happened.
Let me give Congress spokesperson an opportunity. I'll come back to the two of you. Gautam, say it. Mostly the Congress party feels that the agencies have been misused against the opposition leaders. In this case, you are very vociferously backing these raids, and in fact, you have also leveled very serious allegations against Manish Sisodia himself. Tell me your position. Why do you think that this liquor policy is indeed something that has its roots back to Manish Sisodia and his culpability?
See, Shivani, I have myself been a public policy student. This is merely a case of जो पूरे देश में ईमानदार होने का मचा रहा है ढिंढोरा, सबसे बड़ा भ्रष्टाचारी निकला वही छोरा. And let me put this straight. I asked the Aam Aadmi Party here very clearly, if the sale of liquor has increased in Delhi by about 56%, how has the revenue in Delhi decreased by 37%? This policy was merely brought to set up a private cartel, a private mafia of the liquor, and then very conveniently taken back the moment the Lieutenant Governor sent an inquiry request to the CBI. I asked Mr. Kejriwal clearly that your own policy said that you will not be allocating more than 2 zones to a particular individual or entity. Why was this blacklisted businessman from Punjab called Deep Malhotra, who is a former MLA of the Akali Dal, allocated 4 zones by breaking the 2-zone norm which was stated in the policy itself? I asked Mr. Kejriwal that did you not take benefit or illegally benefit such blacklisted companies and individuals, take benefit from them in election going states. And if not, then what made you take back this liquor policy? अरे जिस इंसान ने अपने बच्चों की कसम खा ली थी कि मैं राजनीति में नहीं आऊंगा, I think the people of Delhi and the people of Punjab today realize that they made a mistake by trusting this man who is a liar of the highest order. And that's our stand.
Reena, I remember when the Aam Aadmi Party came to power at the very first year or something, you faced this Office of Profit scandal. And I remember that the Aam Aadmi Party at that time had said that, it was not intentional. We didn't mean to have anybody benefit from it, and you had to roll back on that decision. Ignorance of law or how governments function is not a defense, in law. And in this case also, unfortunately, what it seems to be that we were in control of everything. We signed off all policies. It happened right under our nose for a year till the LG blew the whistle or the CS blew the whistle, but now we are not responsible. How long can the Aam Aadmi Party divert its own responsibility? You are ultimately in power in Delhi.
Yes, Shivani, we are in power. The Delhi people have elected us. There's no doubt about that. But Shivani, you look at the excise policy and you talk to any expert, they will tell you that the excise policy was a very transparent policy. It was going to increase the revenues of the state government, but the Bharatiya Janata Party, with the help of the LG, did not allow us to implement the policy in the way it was envisioned.
But shouldn't you have rolled back the bad policy? Why did you allow the bad policy to go forward for a year?
It was not a bad policy. It was a series of shops that were supposed to be opened. The reason the revenue went down is because out of the 850 shops, only 400 could be opened. Bharatiya Janata Party was involved in the sale of illegal and spurious liquor in the outskirts of Delhi, where there were no legal shops.
Okay, let me take that charge to Shehzad. You've made two charges. One is that they were threatening liquor vendors and that they were running an illicit business. Shehzad, please respond to that.
And he should also respond to what was happening in Gujarat.
Okay, all right,
Shivani,
Shehzad.
may I please?
Yeah, Shehzad.
Thank you. Shivani, let's assume that what Ms. Reena Gupta is saying is correct. So if this entire scandal was happening at the behest of the LG in 2021, here is a statement of Mr. Sisodia even till recently, before they did a U-turn, and all their spokesperson said this was the best policy and it was going to earn thousands of crores of revenue. You remember the debates we had done together on this? Now they suddenly said, no, this is not the best policy. The LG was stopping it. So if the LG was stopping it, why did you wake up in August 2022 and then take cognizance of it and make allegations against the LG? What were you doing for so long if the LG was indulging in so much corruption? Where did we say don't investigate A, B, C? We are saying investigate everybody, but you are saying we should not investigate. The reason is, I'll tell you why. Look, I have just shown you, and I'm showing this again to you. Please see this very carefully. This is a picture of of Dinesh Arora. I want to ask a specific question. This is at Dinesh Arora's nightclub. What was Manish Sisodia, accused number 1, doing with accused number 11?
But
Dinesh Arora.
does that prove
now, I know
anything,
she will show some
Shehzad?
other
Okay,
pictures.
Shivani,
Does that prove anything?
I also want to show a picture.
One second,
This is a picture
Shivani,
of
one second.
Nirav
One
Modi
at a
with
time.
Prime
One
Minister
at a
Modi,
time.
Shivani.
Shivani,
Let's all
one
show
at a time.
pictures
Yeah,
today.
that's very good.
Shivani,
You can
let's all
continue
show
to show that
photographs.
picture.
Nirav
But
Modi with Mr.
the
Narendra
Prime
Modi.
Minister is not an
So does
accused. The
that
Prime
mean
Minister
that
is
the Prime
recovering the
Minister
money that the
Nirav
Congress
Modi
gave
has
to
run
all
away
these
with money of this country?
And
So that means
Shivani,
the
why
Prime
is my
Minister
time being
involved because
interrupted?
there's
I heard her
photographs
out.
of Nirav Modi with the Prime
Shivani, I
Minister.
heard her out. Come on, this is not the fair way to debate, especially on Skype
on
correction.
the issue of
If this is
pictures,
the
on the
level
issue
we are
of pictures,
getting to,
before
I'm
Reena...
not going on pictures, Baba.
No, one second. On the issue